This is group 2. We are here to do our presentation on safeguarding in all ages. With me today we have Ashia Chowdhury, and we have Dorothy Piri, and we have Honela Nzanga, sorry, pardon me, and we have Soda Cham. So we have Soda Cham, and I am Jumai Okoro. So I'll hand over to Aisha to give us the introduction of what we are doing today.
Hi there. We chose safeguarding because it is important to keep adult children, elderly people, and any vulnerable person safe from harm, abuse, and neglect. As we are studying health and social care, and it is relevant to it, and it's quite very important for everyone to know why we have choose this safeguarding topic.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So we'll be moving on to Dorothy. So Dorothy, will do.
So I will be defining what safeguarding is. Safeguarding is a process of protecting children and adults at risk from abuse and any form of harm. And as we are discussing this, we are going to talk about what it promotes. It promotes safety, it promotes dignity and well-being, and it ensures that everyone has a right to live in a safe environment. But as we were discussing as a team, we came across one of our team members who has gone through a personal kind of abuse. And we thought we should introduce that into our topic for today. Instead, because our topic was safeguarding across all borders, but we decided to do safeguarding for children because of the particular topic that our friend had discussed with us. So I will pass on to Honela to just tell us what she experiences in her life.
Hi everybody. Thank you for choosing me to be talking about my own experience, my little experience. As a child, for me, I think is the best topic that we choose as I come across this group, and then to talk about my experience is going to be easy to use it because I don't really talk about it that much. For me, it's something that I went through as a child, and I don't really share it that much. But I felt this connection between all of us, students, friends, this friendship that we properly formed, and it was the best for me to be using my own experience. And then that was the reason why I chose this course in the first place, because I want to become children counselor. I wanna hear children more, because for me I feel like children don't really been given much time to be heard or to be listened to, especially growing up, being born as an African, being raised in Africa is really difficult for your parents or aunties or any family member, adult, to give you that time to listen to your opinion. Whatever you raise your voice, you want to speak out your opinion, so they're just gonna call your name. As for myself, growing up, and then when I was separate with my dad and then my mom, because my father came in this country to trying to find a better life for us, so that's when my nightmare started as a child. And today, in today's society, I can use the term of bullying. I was bullied by my own family. I was really bullied. I was beaten up in some small things because I didn't have any protection. So for me, my protection was my parent. And then for my parent to not be around, I had no protection. And then I had no one to be listening to me, listen to what bothered me or what was worried me in that time. And I'm gonna say just a little story. It was one day I just came from a friend's house. I was 14 going to 15, and then so it was a little bit later than the time, my curfew time, and then I had two of my aunties were waiting for me, and then they start beating me up. So they start beating me up, and when they finish beating me up, they start ripping up my clothes. So they ripped out all my clothes and then they left me like that, butt naked. And then for me, as a Christian, I would say thank God. So the electricity gone off. The whole area, obviously the whole borough, the electricity was gone off. It was totally dark. And then they threw me outside. And then there was a lot of people outside. And that experience really haunted me till today, even though I'm a mom. And it was really hard for me to have a relationship in the beginning because of that experience that I experienced in my life. And I don't really trust people with my children, myself, especially my girls, because whenever I think about it, I feel like if I'm not there, somebody else can do this to my children. Something like this may happen to my children. And then what I've been through, for me, it was like I have to put me first. I activate a defense mode. So before you punch me, I have to punch first. I have to throw the first fist before you hurt me. So I didn't have the way of talking, having conversation. For me, it was violence first. It was I have to protect myself, and then the first thing that was coming to my mind was violence. I have to be violent to protect myself. It really affects my relationship. In the past, I couldn't keep a relationship down because I was a really violent. Everywhere aggressive, everywhere is violence, aggression, I'm there. So that was me. So till I trying to learn myself and to give my partner a chance to enter my life, to trying to open up a little bit. So for me, I want to give that chance to children.
I think because as you were saying, it's not only in Africa. I think it's all over in third world countries or in here as well. The safeguarding is a big issue. And that's why we need the safeguarding.
So even here, it was really difficult for my father to listen to me or to have a sit down, at least to hear the side of my story. So that's why, as I said in the beginning, for me, I feel like sometimes we don't need defense. Sometimes we just need an ear to listen. We just want somebody to listen. At least 5 or 10 minutes. Like right now, whenever I feel like talking about my life, look at you, seeing you sitting down and listening to me, it's kind of ease my heart. Because I never had that chance when I was growing up as a kid. Even though you're telling the truth and it's like, oh, she's lying. So they're just giving you them. They're trying to bury the truth because they seen me as a child and I'm trying to expose an adult. So suddenly you become a liar. So that was my childhood. So suddenly you become a liar, even you telling the truth. Even you say something that you're right, is your virtuous to say. But because they're trying to bury the truth, because an adult is wrong over you, a child, they're trying to bury the truth. So thank you, ladies. That was a really good topic, and then for me to be able to speak about it.
And so I want to ask you a question. How did you overcome that? Did you have a social worker involved?
When I came in this country, it was really difficult to be coping with my dad. So I left my parents' house when I was 16. So I went to social service about 2 weeks to 3 weeks. And then when they decided I turned 16, so they said I need my own place, and I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to be living myself. I wanted my parents. I wanted somebody to wake me up in the morning and telling me it's school time, you need to wake up. So I learned how to wake up myself in the morning. I learned how to be parent and a child at the same time. So it was really difficult. And then, most of African parents, my father didn't want to give me my paper. So it was a chaos. We even went to the court to my parent and then the social service. The police was involved just to get my paper.
That's very sad.
But as you said, you want to be a child counselor. I think you will be the very good one.
Because when I was growing up,
you know what the experience.
In a college normally, as I was doing business, and then when I had my kids, that was the first thing that came in my mind, and I dropped school because I didn't want to leave my son to anybody else. So I prefer drop out of school and then being a full-time mom because I couldn't
because of the experience that you have.
allow anybody else to raise my kids apart from myself.
Yeah.
So that you have any questions for her?
I just want to ask you, right now, are you have relationship with your parents?
Yes, right now I am the strongest in my family. I'm my family holder. If I'm not there, then they all down.
But did they realize what happened?
Yeah.
Did they realize what
Yeah,
happened to
my
you?
father realized, and then himself he says like he didn't have time to get to know me, to get to know the daughter of himself. So when he get to know me, I was already a parent. So I proved them wrong when I start having my kids. So I tell myself to be the best mother, the strongest mother ever. To be the strongest parent that my parent couldn't be to me.
And you get help from the social care here in UK.
Right now it's me and my partner.
No, when you came here and you were struggling.
Social service really helped me to get my house. I'm the first person in my family to have a council house.
I'm 16.
Yes, so I got my council house when I turned 18.
Okay.
Yes, and I got my passport, I got my British citizenship on my own. Yes, on my own. And then, so I did that to my kids.
So we can say
Yes.
all that you wrote it with the help of the social worker, yes?
Yeah.
And that's where now we can say
Even my bank. So I even got the lady's name, I think, somewhere. So that was my social worker.
So
Even my house, my house, from the emergency accommodation all the way to a council house. I get help. For my to get enrolled to the college and stuff to do my study.
thank you very much, Cornella. Sorry, I keep missing the word. Thank you very much, Cornella, for this wonderful piece. At least now we know that the social worker department in the UK was able to play a major role in safeguarding you, in making you who you are today, because now you're a mother. And you have your own family.
And then plus the still with my family as well. I was struggling with the kids and then my partner in one bedroom flat. And then the social worker was involved from the kids' school. Because the kids was complaining the house was overcrowded. So the social worker really played a big role in the council. So we moved to another temporary accommodation for them to try to find a suitable place for me and my family to accommodate us all. So that was a part of social work as well.
So in essence, like we, even not for social workers, you wouldn't be where you are today. So in essence, the police too as well. So in essence, we would say that social workers are actually important in our healthcare system. The police as well is also very important in our healthcare system, because if they hadn't come in, especially by the time they stepped in, your mental state would have been something else. So social workers are actually a fundamental key in our healthcare system. Thank you very much for that. So, but and also you said you did say you would want to work as a social worker after schooling, isn't it? So how many of us would want to also take the same step? Because I myself too, I don't have I wouldn't say I had the same experience as she did, but being an African, I know where you're coming from.
We all know.
So exactly. So I just feel like the kids actually need to be heard.
And then I'm really glad because all the time my kids come to me and then telling me I'm the best mom. Because it's them first. I listen to them first before anybody. Even at school, they all knows I listen to my kids first. I listen to my. There's a lot in my there's a lot because from my experience, I was strong to overcome this, but my younger brother wasn't strong like me. And then while we talking about he's in prison doing 20 years because my father failed in the same way. He failed me, but I was strong and then he wasn't. So that's why I want to step up for kids because not every kid's got same mental strength, you know.
You are very lucky as well that you had a social worker as well.
So for me to see my baby brother who was born in my arms, I kind of like raised him myself because it was too close to me, and then it kind of like slipped into my hands and then end up in prison. and I got a son. For me, I use my brother as an example to my son. So I do everything. So that's why I came back to school to finish what I started. So to set an example for my kids, because I don't want my kids to, I don't want to be to end up like my parents, and then my son to end up like my brother.
So I think your situation, it just truly tells us like what social services can do, what safeguarding in this country, the rules and regulations that are in place in this country, what they can do to help a child live in a very safe environment. And it also tells us like the connection between various organizations, because you've mentioned the police, you've mentioned the social worker,
and
you've mentioned, I think, even the
because I remember the day I left
So-
my father's house, it was around 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't safe for me as a 15-year-old going to 16 to walk around outside in the 2 in the morning. So what I did, I called the police, and I remember they came in and took me to their car. And then one of them was really sad. He even called his wife. He was like, "Yeah, I got a young girl here, and then she's really young. I feel so sad." And he was in tears. And then it was like, "I'm so sorry. I feel really bad." And then so they did everything so they can find a safer place that night for me to stay. And then they didn't just like leave me hanging. So they
So I think we'll just give you a chance to say something, because when we're talking, you were a bit emotional, and we thought we'd give you a chance just to cool down and then continue with the conversation.
To be honest, I was very emotional. I couldn't say anything because it's very sad, and I'm glad that we chose the safeguarding because it's protecting people, children, and vulnerable children. And we should have this in everywhere, back home as well, to help children, especially children, because they don't have
A voice,
you know, for grown-up people to believe them and to listen to them, to the side of the story. And it's very sad. It's really, really sad. And I feel for you because I'm still emotional. I don't know what to say.
So do you have anybody has any other thing to add to what she said so far?
So it just showed, I think we just learned a lot that I think even if we're picking those kind of roles or becoming social workers, it also shows that even as a social worker yourself, you will also go through a lot of emotional experience, and you will also have to look after yourself, because safeguarding, the topic as we started, we're just saying it's safeguarding across areas. So we want to believe it's a kind of situation where we're looking at children, but every person needs somebody, that somebody who can speak for them, who's like a voice. And looking at this, I think that's why social workers are really like key people in all this, because they communicate with either the police, they communicate with the health professionals, and they also communicate with the person who's going through that abuse or whatever it is, whatever sort of abuse that they're going through. And looking at it again, I think for you, it's not just physical abuse, there's also a bit of emotional abuse
and mental as well.
So you've got like a mixture of a mixture of the kind of abuse that you.
And then what I wanted to add for me is I feel like I got privilege because for what I experienced back home in Africa and here, it was different. The difference was like in back home I didn't have a shelter. I didn't have a shield. I didn't have somebody to stand up for me after all the beating, all the bullying, abuses across my own family. But in this country, I had social worker, I have police, I have my college in the back of me.
Healthcare.
I have healthcare, I have all that, because I went through a lot.
I have a question for you. So being that you went through this whole thing and then finally you got married, okay? Because sometimes one of the problems people face when they're married is they bring in their demon into the relationship. So how were you able to fight that demon, and how were you able to sustain the marriage? And then, like you said you lost trust of people. So
it was really difficult for me to stay in one relationship
Yeah.
because of what until I finally found somebody
Yeah.
that was willing to hear me,
Yeah.
to listen to me,
Yeah.
and then to understand me. It wasn't easy in the beginning,
Okay.
but love conquered.
Yeah.
So it was there to listen to me, to understand me. So he trying to hear side of my story.
Yeah.
As I said, in life you have to learn the person is in front of you.
Yeah.
To understand them, that
Yeah.
makes things easy.
Yeah.
So he's still patient because sometimes it comes. I do for sometimes tensions,
Yeah.
I did forgive, but I never forget. Sometimes it haunts me,
So would say you having a husband has played like your husband has played like a counselor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Protection
Yeah,
as well.
it's like a
Yeah.
counselor and he's like the person who protects you.
Yeah,
So
and then the biggest
it's-
role for me to play a father's role
Yeah.
in my life.
Mm.
He did play a biggest father's role in my life before even we start having children. He's the one who really pushed me to come back to study. Like yesterday, I was really tired and I was like, I can't make it today. And it was like, nah, let me take you to the bus stop.
Yeah.
So you go in.
Yeah.
Safeguarding is applied for all public, voluntary, and private organizations that work with children and vulnerable adults. And it's applied the following setting is healthcare, education, social care, sport and communication service. There is a key reason for safeguarding is to prevent harm, to empower individual and ensure legal compliance.
Okay, yeah. So in conclusion, we, according to her story too, and also what we all read individually, we found out that safeguarding is actually a fundamental part of the healthcare system. Okay, and our group focused on safeguarding in children, but we pinpoint abuse based on her story. Okay, which during her own time, we found out that different professionals came into play to help safeguard her and her family. And she did talk about social care coming into it. She did talk about the police coming into it. She did talk about the school where the teachers where her children's school coming into it. So these professionals came in together to like promote, to give her peace. They gave her safety, and they gave her dignity. So in conclusion, I would say safeguarding promotes peace, it promotes safety, and then it helps about bringing out a well-being. So that's it from us, Group 2. And my name is Jumai Okoli, and you are
Majority Puri
and
Asya Chaudhary.
So the jam.
and
Corneline Zanga.
yeah. So thank you very much for having us. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.